So, I finished 4th place at the first ever Digimon Online Tournament for Oceania Sunday event. Hello, my name is Josfer, and today we have a deck profile of the blue Omnimon deck that I finished X1 with last weekend. But before that, I'd like to say that I stream at Twitch, twitch.tv/MugenSanYGO. Links will be in the description below, so come check me out. I stream around 10 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, and probably not every day, but once in a while, maybe every 2 days. Alright, so let's get into it. First, let's start with the eggs. Pretty standard. You have 4 Ukimons. Pretty much the best egg for now for this format. If your opponent has a Digimon that doesn't have a source, you get to draw one when you're attacking. And a 5th Digi-Egg, Digitama, is a Wanyamon. I went with him because it does come up sometimes where you have, well, the opponent has 2 Digimons with no sources, especially like the Rookie Rush deck or the purple deck, where you can get free 2000 DP. The other alternative is the egg that you get from the starter deck. He's very situational. It is easier to activate because the condition is just 1 Digimon with no sources, and it gives you 1000 DP, but it's only for battling Digimons, so it does not count security. So I went with him. So let's go with the rookies. First, we have 4 of the Gabumon from the booster set. There's a lot of things you can do with him, especially with a combo that I will show later on. He's just a really good rookie to play because, yeah, on play you draw 1, it helps you search for whatever card you need, and worst comes to worst, you just evolve him on top of your eggs. So that. Then we have probably the best rookie for this one. For this deck is Gomamon. So we have 4 of him because his inheritable effect, when the Digimon that inherits this effect is deleted, you get free memory. And this deck is so efficient with memory. So that 1 memory can make a difference between passing or being able to evolve twice, or playing 2 cards. I don't know. It's just really good. 1 memory matters a lot for this deck because what you will see in the rest of the Digimons, the Digivolution costs are very cheap, so 1 matters. Next we have the vanilla 2 to play, 0 to evolve Elecmon. We just want more vanillas because we are trying to turbo out Omnimon in this deck. And I have 2 more vanillas, which is the Gomamon version. I went with this ratio 4:2 instead of what I see people do 3-3, just because of the name. I already have the Gomamons in this form, and they do count as the same name. So if you're playing against an Omnimon deck and you have this Gomamon out and this Gomamon out, they both will get deleted. Not that it would come up, because they would most likely try to delete your Omnimon or the Mega that you're trying to get Omnimon with, but it could come up, so just to be safe, I did that. Next up, we got our level 4s. Gorillamon 4, just because he's a cheap level 1 cost to evolve, and because this is a Turbo Omnimon deck, we want to evolve as cheap as possible to get climbing to level 6 and 7s. and he's just really good at that. He's the only one to evolve level 4 that is out in the set for now. Pretty standard. Sometimes I do hard play him as well when I brick, but I'll get to that in a minute. Next, 4 blockers. I thought about cutting it to 3, but this is the only blocker available for blue for now, other than the rookie, but you don't want to play the rookie one. It's just very small, and yeah, it's not worth it to play that. So I'm maxing out on this. Next we have 2 of the Garurumon that on play you unsuspend one of your Digimon. This will be part of the combo for Metal Garurumon. If you've been playing Omnimon Blue, you've probably seen that combo a lot. And the difference is I'm playing 2 instead of what I see people play 3, because I'm playing a tech card instead for my third one. It's the starter deck Garurumon. So his inheritable is when attacking, you trash the bottom Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. This didn't really come up too much during Sunday, but the idea was you want to get all your other cards live, like Upamonsa, you want him live, and it's just a little bit of advantage for the mirror match. Mirror match, you want to take as much advantage as you want, as you can, because getting rid of their Upamons or other inheritables can slowly set them back, and you'll get the advantage from there. But that's just a little tech. You don't have to play him. You can just play the normal 3 Garurumons. And then next, going with the idea of cheap cards, cheap to evolve. Level 5, Monzimon. Yeah, not much to say, it's just 2 to evolve, and then 5 to hard play. It's actually not that expensive either, because if you're building up a normal line, for example, any rookies, and you have Garurumon, let's say the cheapest rookie, Elecmon. So that's 2 plus 1 plus 2, which is 5 anyway. So hard playing this is the same cost as the cheapest line to get to Monzimon, unless you're going from the egg, which is different. But hard playing versus hard playing this from a rookie is the same cost, so which is really good. So some people might feel bad hard playing him, but don't be, because it would be pretty much the same cost as hard evolving. The only downside, well, it's a pretty big downside, but you're not going to get your sources, so you're not going to be going to the Metal Garurumon in that line. You're most likely just climbing up to Omnimon in that line, and also you won't get the draws from evolving. But if you just want to get Omnimon out as fast as you can do that with this. Next, probably one of the best level 5s that I decided to add to the deck, Loader Leomon. It's just a 10,000 beater, especially if you stack it with other cards like the Upamons and the Garurumon that I'm playing. It's just a scary early threat, because a lot of the times people try to climb up to the 6 and then Omnimon before they try to attack, because I might have a blocker, for example, and they can't really attack. Whereas here, if I just go for Loader Leomon above my level 4, next turn I can not really that confidently swing for security and survive, but it's a very low chance that it's gonna die if you do that. So a lot of the times I just swing with it, and worst comes to worst, it gets checked into security and it actually kills some of the megas right now. For example, Puppetmon. Yeah, a lot of the other megas as well are 10k that can die from lower Leomon. So it's both defensive and offensive if you think about it like that. Next, probably my favorite card after adding. I wasn't originally playing this Zudomon, but it helped me unbrick so many times. I think it was round 4, I don't remember, a mirror match where I bricked, and then I hard played this, and then I drew into the rookies and stuff that I needed, so I was able to play next turn. But that's not really the reason of me playing this card. It's more for the inheritable effect. If you have this under the Metal Garurumon in that stack, you pretty much gain 2 memory, because if Metal Garurumon is able to attack twice, this inheritable effect is not once per turn. When attacking, if your opponent has a card with no Digivolution source, you gain a memory. Again, the Tech Garurumon that I added, it helps you make this effect live by removing any of their Digimon that has 1 source, so it becomes 0, and then all these effects become live. And the last one, this one I couldn't really decide what to play, so I just played a Were Garurumon. Yeah, I felt like this was a win more card. Every time I had like the Were Garurumon out or a Mega, it would probably just get killed. Otherwise, if I'm just saving it in the breeding area, that's the only time it's gonna be live. Which, by the way, that trick where you just keep your stack in your breeding area the whole time until you feel safe and you can bring him out and attack, it's a really good strategy against a few decks, and I'll talk about my matchups afterwards. So yeah, this card, security +1, was really good, but I thought it was a win more. So my other choices was another loader Leomon and the structure deck Zudomon, because the structure deck Zudomon on evolution, you get to discard the bottom 2 sources. So I don't know, I feel like this inheritable is more value than the evolution of the other Zudomon, because yeah, what I did find myself doing for the whole event was just keeping them in the breeding area, and no effects can activate when they're in the breeding area. So when you evolve for the starter deck Zudomon, you don't get the crashing effect. Next, we're going to the Megas. Of course, 4 Plazomons. Again, the idea is being to evolve is very cheap. So yeah, not much to say. It's also 12k, bigger than a lot of the Megas, which is the next one. 3 Metal Garurumon. This was so good. Every time you get to resolve the effect, the combo, sorry, you're pretty much winning that game. And yeah, so the combo, I will quickly show now, is when you have a stack with a Garurumon, so what you can do is just a simple combo. When you attack with Metal Garurumon, his effect is when attacking you can play a level 4 or lower Digimon from its sources. which is going to be Garurumon. And Garurumon, because it was played, you get to activate its unplay effect, which lets you unsuspend the Digimon. You will most likely unsuspend the Metal Garurumon. Sometimes if you have another Digimon that's suspended, you might want to unsuspend that. But you normally want to unsuspend the same Metal Garurumon because the when attacking effect is not once per turn, so you can bring out the level 3 that was underneath. So you have a 4 and then the 3, you automatically have like 3 Digimons out. So that gives you a lot of advantage. As a bonus, the best stack will probably either have Zurumon or Garurumon underneath, because they're both not once per turn, so you get security +1 twice pretty much if you have this, or you get memory twice if you have Zurumon. And probably the best rookie will be Gabumon. So an ideal stack would be something like Gabumon, Garurumon, Zurumon, and then Metal Garurumon. So what I liked doing was keeping them in the breeding area, and then when it's my turn, I just bring out this, and most of the time you can't really stop it anymore. So you keep them safe in your breeding area, because now you can freely resolve this combo. So you go attack, you get a memory, play Garurumon, you unsuspend Metal Garurumon, you get to attack again, you get another memory, you get to play Gabumon and draw 1. So that's pretty much the ideal stack. And for the tech, I chose to go with Volcanic Dramon because in the Saturday event, what I heard what happened was there was a lot of purple deck. Surprisingly, not many Rookie Rush, but I played this because of the Rookie Rush initially, but it's also really good against purple deck, which came clutch in my round 5 match actually against the purple deck. The alternative was Machine Dramon, because it's really good in the mirror. When they're trying to climb, you can drop it and then Digivolve, or not trying to climb, sorry, when they already have the Omnimon and you don't have a stack to get your own Omnimon, you're normally gonna have a lot of memory, or at least more than 2 memory to work with when they drop Omnimon. So your Machine Dramon is gonna be live, and you just Digivolve that back into an ultimate level 5. But yeah, I went with this instead because it's a red card, so you can evolve it into Omnimon as well. Just dropping this first. If they don't answer it, you get security +1 as well on your turn. So it's a pretty good threat that gets rid of small guys, or it's just a threat that they have to deal with before it becomes your turn again, which I have done a lot of times actually this weekend, where I just dropped this early, like maybe turn 3, and then they couldn't deal with it that early, and then my turn comes, I just security +1 and then go into an Omnimon. And the namesake of the deck, yeah, 4 Omnimons. Not much to say about him. On Digivolve, you get to pick a Digimon name and delete all the Digimons with the same name. So it doesn't have to be the same card, it can just be cards that share a name. So if you have different versions of Metal Garurumon, for example, like starter deck 1 and then the booster set 1, they both get deleted if they're both in the battle area. And we're playing 4 because you want to see it, you want to climb up to it. In a lot of the cases, especially in the mirror match. If you have more Omnimons than your opponent, you're probably gonna win that, which actually cost me the first round. My opponent ended up with more Omnimons than I did. I wasn't able to climb up to the last one, and he was able to keep his Omnimon on the battle area, attack twice with it, and pretty much hard to deal with from there on. And to round off the deck, we have Hammer Spark, actually the MVP of the deck. I wouldn't play the deck without it. I saw a topping list for the Saturday event. He did not play any Hammer Spark. He played 4 Kakaya's Breath instead, which is actually another card that I wish I made space for, but I couldn't really take out anything from here. It's very tight. Yeah, maybe I'll try 3 Omnimons and Kakaya's Breath, but they're basically doing the same job. Omnimon's just a bit better because it gets rid of the problem, whereas Kakaya's Breath, it just puts it back to hand. They can climb up again and play it. So yeah, this is a very good memory manipulator. A lot of the times my opponent would just give me 1 memory, and so that makes a difference. For example, I have any level 5, let's say Orgarumon, and they pass me to 1. I want to get to my Omnimon and stop them. I can't really do that on 1 memory, so I need a Hammer Spark, and you just go up into a Digimon. If you want, you can attack with 2 and then evolve Omnimon on top of it, get rid of their threat. So the difference of ending with this and an attack, or just ending on this, sorry, and ending on attack plus an Omnimon makes a very, very big difference. So that can swing the tempo by a lot. So there's a deck profile. I'll go through my rounds. So round 1 was actually my only loss. That felt pretty bad. First event, first round, and ended up being a Swift 2-0. It was a Omnimon mirror match. What got me in game 1 was Kakaya's Breath in his security. So that was a free Kakaya's Breath for him to get rid of my stack. He was able to make Omnimon, I get rid of it, and then he makes another one getting rid of my Omnimon, and it just trades with Omnimons, and I ended up losing game 1 there. And then game 2, I just had too many level 4s, no rookies, so I had to hard play Garurumon and then Grizzlymon on the turn after that. So yeah, as you can imagine, he would have already had his evolution lines going, whereas I only had Garurumon and Grizzlymon. So that was a bit sad for round 1. Round 2 was against Black Blocker. I have a feeling he also bricked, just because the biggest Digimon I saw him play was a level 5. It kept being like small Rookie Blocker and like Guardramon, if I recall correctly, and I was just able to push through with big evolution lines and just attacking him. Game 2, he ended up with a big blocker. I forgot who was it. I think it was Andromon, and all I see was Rookie, so I ended up going with a Rookie Rush strategy to kill him, pretty much. So just one turn where I had more Digimons than he had blockers and security, I just went for it, attack, and yeah, I won from there. Then round 3, this was against Purple Toolbox. Lachlan from my local game store, which is RC Crew at Condo Park. He played purple, but game 1, unfortunately, he also bricked hard playing big guys, which allowed me to climb easily into an Omnimon. Well, actually, I didn't choose to go Omnimon because there was nothing to delete, so I ended up with just Megas and rush him down. Game 2, this is a really good strategy against a purple deck. So, you know what I said, by keeping your stack in the breeding area for the longest time? What I did was I only had one big stack out in the battle, so maybe a stack all the way to Omnimon, for example. What it does is it's playing around Trump Sword. So when you attack, it doesn't play it the first time, so if you check it the first time, then that's a bit unlucky. So you can go with that, but at least you're getting to check twice. So use Omnimon effect to stand itself, add back the level 6 to your hand, and yeah, you just keep attacking with this Omnimon here. Meanwhile, you're building up something over here. So when this gets answered, most likely they will answer it with a Digimon by just attacking into it and using retaliation, or if it's left unsuspended, which you shouldn't because you're always attacking, then they can just Trump Sword it. So there's only really one way of getting rid of the Omnimon, which is that Digimon. So to answer that, instead of just having one, you just want to put up a blocker together with it. So you have a blocker, your big stack, and then another big stack going on here. And that strategy worked really well throughout the day. Yeah, so against purple, that's what you want to do. And then round 4, we have an Omnimon Blue Mirror again. This time, I went first, and I just managed to outpace him in the game 1. This is the game 1 where I hard played the Zudamon and I drew into the rookie, and I was scared of that because I gave him 7 memory, but unfortunately he also didn't open well and he hard played the Monsimon, so that was kind of an even trade. I get a draw 2, he just gets a Monsimon out, and then yep, that got me my rookie, and I started building my line and I got more advantage over him and managed to get that game. Game 2, this is something that dawned on me after my first loss in round 1. Instead of trading Omnimons, what I should have done was, when I killed his Omnimon with my own Omnimon, and then he kills mine with his Omnimon, what ended up happening was it gave me 6 memory from what I remember. What I should have done was go for a rookie rush strategy, because he will only end up with 2 attacks with that Omnimon and plus whatever other stuff he has, whereas I can rush him with at least 3 or even 4 rookies with that much memory if I had plenty of the 2-cost rookies, which I did, but I ended up trying to climb into another Omnimon to answer his, but I didn't make it. I didn't have the cheap line to go up there, so that's why I lost on the first one. But this time I used the rookie rush strategy and I ended up beating him that way. It was a rookie rush early. Sorry, I didn't get to finish him off quite there. I ended up trading Omnimon to an Omnimon, and then I had the last Omnimon, which killed his one, and he didn't manage to build another one, which makes sense when I saw his profile. He only had 2 Omnimons, so that was kind of the advantage of my side, and managed to take the match there. Okay, in the last round, another guy from my locals, Rory Bramble. I was actually hoping for him to win in the 5th round, just because, yeah, he could represent our locals undefeated first. But he lost the round 4, so he ended up going against me. Game 1, I managed to outvalue his removal cards. Like, I remember him playing like Chimeramons and Heat Viper. He managed to Heat Viper me because I did try a little bit of the Akira strategy early, so that's all I had. While I'm building up the line here, I played like 2 rookies, and then I had one smaller line going on in the field, and yeah, he just went Heat Viper to get rid of those 2 rookies. But that takes 5 memory, which then in my turn I was able to build up a bit more of this line over here, and I don't remember exactly how I built my lines, but I managed to keep those 2 lines going just as I talked about earlier, and managed to get it there. Game 2, he went with the Rookie Rush strategy. I was trying to build my stacks, I didn't have blocker, and next thing I know, I only had like 2 security cards left and couldn't stop it, so I lost that one. Game 3, this was a lot of back and forth. It was a very close game. I managed to build up that ideal Metal Garurumon stack here, so when I bring him out, it's the Garurumon, and then the Gabumon for draw 1, but it was only the Monzemon for the level 5 there, so I didn't get that part, but Garurumon plus Gabumon was good enough. And then he went for a Piedmon play to bring out, I think it was a Devilmon and something else, Wizardmon, because he was just trying to rush me instead. So what came in clutch was Volcanic Dramon. So I answered his Piedmon with Volcanic Dramon, getting rid of those 2. If he brought out a Vilemon instead, which is his blocker, I think my Volcanic Dramon wasn't going to be too much value, but he ended up doing that, and then I managed to use Omnimon on his Piedmon. So with the memory that I had first, I climbed up to Omnimon first to get rid of that Piedmon before dropping the Volcanic Dramon. And yeah, it was a very close game, and managed to get it at the end. So overall, I finished X1, only losing the first round in 4th place.
I could always be the one you wanna call when it's cold outside. I will always be the one that's right here standing by your side.